13 surprising U.S. etiquette rules every traveler should know. Hello travelers, and welcome back to the Eskimos channel, where we help you navigate the world with utmost ease. Today, we're heading over to the United States. Now, the U.S. might seem familiar with its globalized culture, but trust me, there are some unique etiquette rules that can catch you off guard. Especially if you're planning a trip there soon, understanding these customs can make your experience smoother and more enjoyable. So let's dive right in and uncover 13 surprising etiquette rules in the U.S. All right, imagine this. You're at a charming little diner, the aroma of freshly grilled burgers filling the air, the sizzle of the patties on the grill, the soft hum of conversations around you, and the clinking of cutlery create a cozy, inviting atmosphere. You take that first bite and it's delicious, but maybe it could use a dash of salt and pepper. The flavors are good, but you know a little tweak could make it perfect for your taste buds. Now, I know in some places, asking for condiments at the table is a culinary sin, a direct insult to the chef's carefully crafted flavors. It's like saying their creation isn't good enough as it is. But not in America. Here, it's perfectly fine, even expected, to adjust your food to your liking. The culture embraces customization, and diners are encouraged to make their meals just right for them. So go ahead, ask for that hot sauce, whether you want a little kick or a fiery explosion of flavor. Sprinkle on some extra cheese, making your burger even more indulgent and satisfying. Personalize your plate to your heart's content. Add pickles, onions, or even a fried egg if that's what you crave. It's all part of the American dining experience. The freedom to tailor your meal exactly how you want it is a hallmark of dining in the USA, making every meal a unique and personal adventure. Now let's talk about a topic that often leaves travelers puzzled: tipping. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or a first-time visitor, understanding the nuances of gratuity can be quite challenging. Unlike many European countries where service charges are included, tipping is an integral part of the U.S. dining culture. It's not just a nice gesture, it's a fundamental aspect of the service industry. Remember those friendly servers who kept your glass full and your spirits high? Their warm smiles and attentive service are often what make your dining experience memorable. Well, they rely on tips for a significant portion of their income. In fact, many servers earn a base wage that is significantly lower than the minimum wage, making tips essential for their livelihood. A standard tip is between 15 to 20% of your bill before tax. This range is considered fair and reflects the quality of service you received. And here's a little travel tip. If you're happy with the service, a generous tip is a great way to show your appreciation. It not only rewards the server, but also encourages excellent service for future patrons. But remember, even if the service wasn't quite up to par, it's still customary to leave a small tip, perhaps a bit below the standard range. This acknowledges the effort of the server while signaling areas for improvement. Navigating gratuity can be tricky, but with a little knowledge and consideration, you can ensure that your tipping practices are both fair and appreciated. So, the next time you dine out, remember these guidelines and tip with confidence. Next up, we're venturing into the land of burgers and fries fast food restaurants. Now, these places are known for their convenience and quick bites, but here's the catch. You're often expected to clear your own table. Unlike traditional restaurants where bussers whisk away your trays, at fast food joints, it's considered good etiquette to dispose of your trash and leave the table tidy for the next hungry customer. Think of it as a small act of courtesy in the fast-paced world of fast food. Chapter 4. Now, let's unwrap the etiquette of gift-giving in America. Imagine this. You've been invited to a friend's housewarming party, and you've carefully chosen the perfect present. You spent hours thinking about what they would love, considering their tastes and preferences. You hand over your gift, wrapped beautifully with a ribbon and a heartfelt card. And here's where things get interesting. The anticipation builds as they take the gift from your hands. Unlike some cultures where opening gifts later is the norm, in the US, it's customary to open presents immediately in front of the giver. This tradition allows everyone to share in the excitement. It's all about sharing the joy and excitement of the moment. The room fills with smiles and laughter as the wrapping paper is torn away. So be prepared for some enthusiastic oohs and ahs as you unwrap that gift. The reactions are genuine and heartfelt. It's a chance to connect, express gratitude, and create lasting memories. And appreciate the thoughtfulness behind the gesture. Every gift, no matter how big or small, carries a piece of the giver's heart. This simple act of giving and receiving strengthens bonds and brings people closer together. So next time you find yourself at a gift-giving occasion, remember it's not just about the gift itself, but the shared experience and the joy it brings to everyone involved. Chapter 5. Now let's talk about a quintessential American social skill: small talk. Picture this. You're waiting for the elevator and a friendly stranger strikes up a conversation about the weather. Don't be alarmed. Small talk is a common way Americans break the ice and create a sense of camaraderie. It's not about delving into deep philosophical discussions, but rather about finding common ground and engaging in lighthearted banter. So, brush up on your weather vocabulary, sports trivia, or local happenings, and be prepared to exchange a few pleasantries. Chapter 6. As you navigate the bustling streets and cozy cafes of America, you'll notice a recurring theme: smiles. Americans are big on smiles, and it's not just because they have great dentists. Smiling is considered a friendly and polite gesture, a way to acknowledge someone's presence and create a positive atmosphere. So, don't be shy about flashing those pearly whites. A simple smile can go a long way in making a good impression and brightening someone's day. Now, while Americans are generally friendly and approachable, they also value their personal space. Imagine this. You're having a lively conversation with a new acquaintance, and you instinctively reach out to touch their arm. While well-intentioned, this gesture might be perceived as intrusive. Americans tend to prefer an arm's-length distance during conversations, especially in casual settings. So, as you're chatting away, be mindful of those invisible boundaries and respect the comfort zone of those around you. Let's talk about greetings, those initial interactions that set the tone for any encounter. Now, in some cultures, greetings involve elaborate rituals, from cheek kisses to formal bows. But in America, things are much more casual. A simple hi or hello accompanied by a friendly smile is the standard way to greet someone, whether it's a close friend or a stranger you've just met. So, leave those formal greetings behind and embrace the casual, approachable nature of American greetings. As you venture into the heart of America, you'll notice a certain vibrancy in the air, a symphony of voices filling restaurants, cafes, and even public transportation. Americans tend to be more animated and expressive in their conversations, their voices rising and falling with enthusiasm. So don't be surprised if you hear a chorus of laughter, passionate debates, or animated storytelling. It's all part of the American way of communicating, a reflection of their openness and directness. Chapter 10. Decoding indirectness, reading between the lines. Now, let's delve into the subtle art of American communication, where indirectness often reigns supreme. Unlike some cultures where directness is valued, Americans often soften their language, especially when it comes to saying no. Phrases like, "That's an interesting idea," or "I'll have to think about it," might be subtle ways of declining an offer without being confrontational. So, pay attention to the nuances of language and body language, and remember that a polite "no, thanks" often speaks volumes. Chapter 11. Picture this. You've just hailed a cab, eager to reach your next destination. But here's a little quirk of American taxi etiquette. Passengers typically ride in the back seat. Unlike some countries where hopping in the front seat is the norm, in the US, it's considered more courteous and respectful to leave the front seat for the driver. So settle into the back seat, enjoy the ride, and leave the navigating to the pros. Chapter 12. The age-old question that has sparked countless debates: to shoe or not to shoe indoors. In America, there's no hard and fast rule. Some households prefer shoes on, while others have a strict shoes-off policy. So when you're invited to someone's home, it's always a good idea to err on the side of caution and ask your host about their preference. A simple "should I take my shoes off?" shows respect for their customs and ensures you're not committing a faux pas. Chapter 13. And finally, let's talk about names, those linguistic tokens of identity. In America, informality is often the name of the game. Don't be surprised if people address you by your first name, even if you've just met. It's not a sign of disrespect, but rather a reflection of the American emphasis on friendliness and approachability. So embrace the casual vibe, introduce yourself by your first name, and feel free to address others in the same way. So there you have it, fellow explorers, 13 surprising etiquette rules that will help you navigate the cultural landscape of the United States like a seasoned traveler. Remember, these customs and traditions are all part of what makes America unique and fascinating. Whether you're just visiting or planning to stay for a bit, keeping these etiquette tips in mind can help you blend in, avoid any awkward encounters, and make your journey all the more enjoyable. That's all we have for today, Eskimos community. Happy traveling, and remember, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.